Well, hello there. All right. We're live. At least I hope we are. I am. Yes, it's true. Your eyes are not playing tricks on you. I have not cropped Lisa out of this image that you're looking at right now. No, in fact, we do not have Lisa with us today. And there's a very good explanation for that. I am very sorry that you just have to look at this ugly mug for the next hour and a half. So, audio, video, good. Thank you, Curtis. I know I can always count on you. And I didn't respond to your email today, and I apologize about that. But I'm about to tell you why. So, listen. The reason why Lisa's not here, she's in the chat. There she is, right there. We are traveling to Virginia tomorrow to attend my mother's birthday party. Guess how old she's going to be? I talk about it all the time. I'm 51, right? So my mom must be getting up there, right? 80. It is her 80th birthday party. Are you kidding me? This is crazy. And we are doing a whole thing. Big credit goes out to Lisa and my two sisters. I have a brother too, but he didn't do nothing. Just like I didn't do nothing. So, but my brother-in-law too, also both brother-in-laws, there's a lot of people involved in this. Everybody in my family, immediate family, is going to be there. And, including my mother's, I think she has like, I don't even know how many. I mean, she has great grandchildren, several of them. It's a lot. Like, there's going to be a lot of people there. And it's cool because we are going to be able to see some people that we haven't seen in a while because, you know, my sister lives about 4 hours from me. My one sister that way. My other sister lives about 2 hours from me that way. My brother's 3 hours from me that way. Like, we're all doing our things. And then the kids, all of my sister has, my oldest sister has 4. My second sister has 3. My brother has 3. They're spread out everywhere. And so it's going to be really nice for everybody to converge in one spot and celebrate my mother's 80th birthday party. I really hope I make it as long as her. She is still getting it too. No, that sounded weird, and I'm sorry. I didn't mean for that to sound weird. My mom is still out there. She is doing her thing. She is not sitting around becoming an old lady. She is out there having fun, doing her thing. Love it. It's awesome. So can't wait to see everybody tomorrow. But Lisa has been in the kitchen cooking all day and getting ready for things. You know, she has her responsibilities and then everybody else has their responsibilities, and she's been at it all day. And so she's like, I just can't do it tonight. So it's just me. I'm sorry about that. But I do have some cool things to update everyone. That's what I intend to do at her age. Yeah, me and you both. Here's the problem though, Sherry. I'm going to say it again. I'm 51 and I know I look older than that. My dad was 54 when he went. But my mom's 80. And so I hope I follow in her footsteps. If so, I ain't got much longer if I don't follow in her footsteps. But everybody that knows me and knows my mom is like, oh, you were your mother's child. Like, so hopefully I follow in her footsteps. And someday I'll be talking about my 80th birthday party and possibly trying not to sneeze there too. I don't know. But we did finally. I talked about it last week. I shouldn't say finally, but it was finally because we were talking about it for so long. This is the same one I showed you last week. I was talking about how these were on our way to us. Well, they're here. We've got a barn full of them. They're on the site. It no longer says pre-order because if you order one now, we send it right out to you. We're not waiting on them anymore. Very, very exciting. The Aquafiltra from CJ. This is a hot item right now, folks. It is. It's in 3 different sizes, 10, 20, 40. And they're awesome. I'm not going to go through the whole spiel because I've talked about them so much over the last forever. I've talked about them. 5-year warranty, Curtis. Thank you for reminding all of us about that. Where else do you get a 5-year warranty? Come on now. And I've not received a single warranty call because, well, we just sent these out Wednesday, we sent them out this week. I don't even know. The days just all go like this and they all get mixed up. I don't know what day is what anymore, but you know, they haven't been out long enough to get any warranty issues with those. But any other CJ product that we've ever had, if there's a warranty issue, they handle it very, very quickly. We just had one, a gentleman with the Shark Pro 900 and took care of them like that. It was a beautiful thing. I love to see that. That is why we love CJ as much as we do. Not only are their products great, but the way they treat their customers and the way they treat us is amazing. I love it. Also have the Fluval 4.0 plant light. It just has to be mentioned again because I love these lights so much. That's what we have on that tank right there. I've got the Plant Pros on here. And you can look at them and be like, well, that's really not that much of a difference. This one is supposed to be, well, this tank is 3 feet deep. So it's actually perfect for this tank. We, as of right now, do not sell the Plant Pro, the Fluval Plant Pro. We do not sell yet. I don't know if we will, but perhaps we will. And, but they're like really super expensive. So, if that lottery check comes through, maybe we'll buy a bunch of them and sell them to y'all. I don't know. But we do have the 4.0, which is what we have on there. And they're awesome. We sold so very many of them. And that is a beautiful thing. So Curtis just did us the service of putting that link up there. And there you go. That's all you have to do. Click on that link. It'll take you right to them. Both of those products are on the home page of the website. You want to know what else is on the website right now? Finally, we got a nice big old shipment of plants. I was not very happy about it. I'm happy with the plants, but I wasn't happy about it. And I don't know if it's something that I should talk about or not. But Lisa's not here to stop me, so I'm going to do it. We actually, this is a, very behind the scenes type thing. We were for quite some time having our plants shipped to the nearest airport to me, which is an hour and a half away. That's the closest one that has a cargo thing. There's a couple of regional airports, but can't use those. Well, we actually found out a few months ago, that it was actually more cost effective for us to just have them ship it UPS straight to us. When you consider the shipping fees in a lot of cases are actually cheaper, but then there's also the gas to get to and from the airport, tolls. There's like a $6.50 toll for me to go up there to Virginia. It was just way more cost effective to just have them shipped directly here. I put in the order with one of the nurseries that we deal with, and I said, hey, I'd like to place the following order, please. If you could send that via UPS, I'd greatly appreciate it. And they sent it to the airport. So I wasn't supposed to have to go up to the airport. I didn't know. They were sitting up there for 2 days. I was sitting here waiting, like, where are the plants at? And I went and checked my invoice and saw the tracking. I said, oh no, that's a Southwest Cargo tracking. I looked at it and they were sitting up at the airport waiting for me. I said, daggone it. And I expressed to them that was very inconvenient for me to have to do that. And apparently somebody there got in trouble. I didn't feel very good about that. I don't want somebody to get in trouble. People make mistakes. It's just, are you going to make up for the mistake? That's all I want to know. If you're going to make up for the mistake, then we're all good. Nobody needs to get in trouble. But apparently I didn't say that to them in time. It's not like somebody got fired, but no, the plants were completely fine. The cool thing about Southwest Cargo, I know those guys up there because I'm up there all the time. And so if I don't immediately go up, they're used to me showing up like within an hour of the plants reaching the Southwest cargo. If I'm not there within an hour, they stick them in the refrigerator for me. This time of year, that is very much appreciated. Wintertime, it's not as important because the warehouse is colder. But so they're really cool up there. They had them in the refrigerator for me, and everything worked out great. So plants look fantastic, they like always. But it was just the inconvenience of having to drive. Take 3 hours, hour and a half there, hour and a half back. I was not happy about that. But it all got done. It is what it is. What else was I going to do? Be like, hey, you shipped them to the wrong place. Send them again and we'll just let those sit up there. No, I'm not going to do that. I mean, I can be a jerk when I need to, but I'm not that much of a jerk. They're sitting right there. Our Lisa's Oscars growing. They seem to be a bit bigger. That is exactly why I decided to include that tank on camera today. They are absolutely getting bigger. I don't know how well you can tell. This guy right here, that one, has tripled in size since we got him. The others have grown significantly too. The red that's right there, he's probably doubled in size. I mean, folks, Oscars grow fast. I'm not kidding you. We're going to all blink our eyes and they're going to be the size of those jokers right there. It's nuts. But yeah, they've definitely grown. The Severums have grown too. It's fun to watch. Lisa absolutely spoils them. And it's hilarious. She feeds them a lot. And she's like, they're always hungry. They always want to eat. Like, we always tell people, don't be fooled by that. But she gets fooled by that all the time. Her Oscars look huge, I guess. I haven't even been on a stream in a little while. I mean, when you look at them next to, where'd they go? Hey, get back down here. Come back down here. Come on. Come on. They're listening. Come on. Come on. See, they behave. See, they're good. When you compare them to them, they look like guppies. But it is true. They have grown quite a bit. And I just totally got lucky there. They were coming this way. They didn't really listen to me. We all know that, right? I feed them Northfin 2 times a day. She does. It's sitting right there. That is not up there for an advertisement. That is there because that's what she feeds them. She's got Cichlid up there. She's got Krill Pro. She's got Vitalis up there. And Massivore Delight. I told you they're spoiled. Up on this tank, we have Krill Pro, which we don't feed that tank Krill Pro. What's that doing up there? Probably for the tank next to it. Northfin Carnivore, Northfin Arowana, Northfin Jumbo Fish. I'm not lying to you. They're all right there. See them? There they are. Along with the pole that's holding up my microphone. That's what we feed them all. Up on the 240s, there is Extreme, Spirulina Flake, Northfin Kelp Flake, all the Northfins and the Extremes. That's what we've got. We are very blessed to have a relationship with Northfin. They send us boxes of food all the time. We just got one specifically to feed our fish. It's a beautiful thing. So, but again, these are not up here for advertisement purposes. Those are up there because that's what we feed our fish. I feed the Bishy's Krill Pro. Well, okay. I was not aware of that. I didn't realize that my Bishy's would eat Krill Pro. But that's cool. Filling John in. Yeah. I mean, she has a whole routine. And her routine includes feeding my fish. I'm very fortunate. What can I say? John, I want to thank you. Your podcast saved my sanity 2 weeks ago while being stuck in the airport for 12 and a half hours. Can you imagine something worse? I can't. That's horrible. Um, I have been stuck in an airport once, Lisa and I were. It wasn't 12 and a half hours though, but it's the worst. I hate everything about every single airport. I hate them. I can't stand being, I don't like them. That's my whole reason for not wanting to fly anywhere, is not because of the plane. It's because of the airport. Hate it. I'm not going to tell you the whole story, but I had worst case scenario at an airport happen to me. And I said, that's it. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not flying anymore unless it's an absolute emergency. But being stuck in an airport for 12 and a half hours, I can't imagine something worse. We were in an airport for probably 6 or 7 hours. Lisa might be able to, she might remember a little better than me, but it was actually when we were going to be flying out to Chicago Aquashella 2019. And we were stuck at Richmond Airport for a good part of the day. I think our flight was at like 1. And then it wasn't until like evening time that they canceled the flight and put us up in a hotel. And she had the flu, so she was not enjoying herself. It was a bad day. And we had to get up at like stupid o'clock to take a flight to Charlotte to catch a connection to Chicago. It was the worst. Horrible day. And then, the flight to Chicago was canceled. We had to rent a car, drive back up to Richmond. Lisa had the flu. It was just the worst. We had to pay for that rental car too. It was terrible. And then she made me fly to Aquashella by myself, and she drove home and went to bed and was in bed all weekend. So there's that. But that day at the airport was terrible because you're stuck in the airport around a bunch of people you don't like. And then if you want to go buy a water, it's $9. It's like, come on. If I'm going to be stuck here and it's your fault, airline, you should be giving me water. You should be giving me food. It's crazy. But yeah, that's why I don't fly anymore. My bad experience was at O'Hare and then Norfolk, both ends of the flight. Horrible. I was in a bad place that day. Enough said about that. When are you getting the Plant Pro? I'm starting. Oh, Joe, you're not going to do this to me, are you? Is he going to do that now every week? I got stuck at O'Hare for 4 hours once. I made friends and we had a great time. So when I was talking about Lisa and I being stuck at the airport, that was in Richmond, Virginia. But my bad experience was at O'Hare. I'm a vomophobe. Okay. I have a phobia of people vomiting around me. I know how silly it is. It's crazy. It made me a horrible parent. If one of the kids came to me with a stomach ache, I'd be like, no, go talk to her. Don't talk to me. I don't want to be around you. I'm a terrible person when it comes to that. And some dude just started vomiting everywhere, all over the place. And he was right behind me. And it was, that's DEFCON 5 for me. That's like, I was cursing. I was mad. I was angry. Lisa was calming me down. It was like, I was like, if that MFR gets on our plane, I swear to God, people were looking at me thinking about calling security. It was bad. I don't think anybody wanted to call security. But then he got on the plane with us. And he sat 7 or 8 rows behind us. We were in the front row behind first class. And the whole flight, I'd be sitting there watching a movie and I would just go, just to see what he was doing. And he was like this. He was drunk. Hated that guy. Same here. I was in the hospital for a few weeks ago, and of course I heard that. Oh, see, yeah. I don't like hospitals either. Seinfeld, the episode where he had a fear of vomiting. That is awful, though. It was the black and white cookie. I remember that episode well. I am a tremendous Seinfeld fan. So I can't stand drunks. Me neither. That's why, I don't go to football games anymore, which we don't live near any of them anyway. Nearest stadium would be Charlotte. And who wants to go see that team? But football games, there's always the drunks. Baseball, not so much. Sometimes if you're at a Phillies game, you got to deal with some Karens when you get a home run ball. But never run into any drunks at baseball games. Speaking of baseball games, I got a package today from Primetime Aquatics. Jason and Joanna go to their local, I think it's a AAA affiliate. Not affiliate, AAA baseball team there where he lives. And they have the best bobbleheads. And I'm very spoiled. Whenever they get one, they send it to me. Or they send me one. They get multiples because they have multiple seats. And then they send me one. And it's amazing. This one, I should have brought it here to show you all. Schaumburg Boomers, yes. It is two of the Boomers players carrying a couch up a stairwell, and it says, "Pivot." If you know, you know. That is they have the most creative bobbleheads from that place. I love it. They sent me one that was a pickle. That Joanna got signed by their mascot, which is a pickle. They've sent me a Tasmanian devil that's in the tornado. Like one of them was the Ghostbusters Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. I mean, their bobbleheads are the best. So yeah, thank you to the Addams family for that. They spoil me so much. Finsanity, he felt bad for the light comment there and decided to donate 5 memberships. Thank you, Joe. You're spoiling me already. You see me struggling here, and let me throw John a bone. Is it a dumb idea pimping out a 20 tall? Why would that be a dumb idea? And do we still call it pimping it out, Matt? I mean, Pimp My Ride was from like 2001, my guy. Are we still saying pimping it? I don't know this for fact, but if you were taking wagers on what is the most popular aquarium size, what is the most sold aquarium in the world, my vote would be 20 high. I'm not saying it's the best. I'm saying that is the tank that sells more than any other tank in this hobby. And so, heck yeah, you should pimp it out. If you're still calling it pimping it out, you should definitely do that because it's the best. I have a 20-gallon in my bathroom, and we just got new fish for it. And they're named after Jeff Grosso. And I will be really impressed if anybody in the chat can tell me who Jeff Grosso is. Red Cherry Mato Grosso. Yeah, I've never heard of him either. But I sure do love Jeff Grosso. Loved. R.I.P. So it's going to be easy, even though I had to have Lisa text me the name. But I knew it was Grosso, but I didn't remember the motto. M-A-T-O. Red Cherry Mato Grosso. Lisa, if you happen to be walking by my bathroom, maybe you could snap a picture of them and I'll share those with everybody. skateboarder, but I will admit that I cheated. And well, daggone it, Lisa. Not my Lisa. The other Lisa. Now we don't tolerate cheaters here, okay? But you are right. Legendary skateboarder from my time. If you've ever been a skater, best inverts ever done. I know Andrek did a good one, and Neil Blender had good ones. Billy Ruff had good ones, but Jeff Grosso and his eggplants, forget it. I could talk skateboarding all day like Joe Rogan could talk 67 Camaros all day. Jill Eugenia gifted 5 memberships. Oh, I can't believe I forgot to mention this. Thank you, Jill, for that. Chapico, Evan Keller, Warp Turtle, Shelly Inspired Mom. No. You were already a member, 25 gallon. Sorry about that. Hundy and Kyle Redburn were the recipients of those gifted memberships. Welcome, everybody. And then Brett Russell gifted a membership. And folks, I was supposed to tell you this in the very beginning, and I forgot. And I'm sorry. I apologize about this. We are not going to be able to do the members only live stream tonight. I know. I'm sorry. We got to get up in the middle of the night to drive to Virginia. And Lisa and I we're used to not even having an alarm clock. And so that's going to be really tough for us. And to do the member stream until midnight, which is what always happens, and then get up in the middle of the night to drive to Virginia. Lisa can get in the car or truck and go to sleep. I got to drive 4 hours up to Virginia. It's just not something, I'm too old for that. Can't do it. So we're going to have to delay the member stream until next week. But the nice thing is all of the people that are being gifted these memberships, you can all join us next week. And we'll have a lot of fun with that. I had 4 people lined up for today, and I had to tell them all. Well, actually, I didn't. I'm telling them now because I'm a bad person that we're not going to be able to do that tonight, and I'm very sorry. But thank you to everyone who has donated, including Dennis McKelvey. He donated 5. Who got Brent Russell's? Johnny Cope got Brent Russell's, and then Vic Hedges, a couple of fish, cute. S. Martin, Steve Martin, big fan, love the jerk. Cecil Mayberry, and catch 'em if you can. That's clever. It's cute. All got those memberships from Dennis. Thank you all so much for that. Lisa, KG Tropicals. I've heard that name before. I heard she's really hot. Thank you, Primetime Aquatics, Curtis Crump, Tony Tran, Robert Wayman, and Sherry Coleman for the GoFundMe donations for the Roots and Whiskers barn expansion. Yes, thank you all so much for that. I think, obviously, this weekend is being occupied by my mom's 80th birthday, but I think we're coming up real close on starting to put that insulation in. But I'm not going to lie, it's been really hot this week, so I'm kind of glad it's taken a little longer. It's supposed to cool down next week. So if we start it next week, I would not be mad about that at all, because it's going to be a lot more mild back there. That area of the barn gets ridiculously hot because it's not insulated. It has a metal roof, and it is in the direct sun all day long. So it's brutal back there. So if we get it to where it's, 70s outside, it's going to be a whole lot more reasonable to be back there insulating, because I got to go up in the ceiling and all of that. I mean, I don't want it to be hot back there. So, but yes, I agree with Lisa. Thank you all so much for that. We're spoiled by so many people. It is, it's a beautiful thing. Will you visit your favorite store? If you're talking about Aquariums Unlimited, my favorite fish store, no. Because we live here. Aquariums Unlimited is over there. We're going up there. Like, we're going the complete opposite direction. So if you're referring to Aquariums Unlimited, no. We will not be visiting that store tomorrow. But I do have to go there soon. But I can't tell you why. No, I can. I can tell you why. I need to get some footage of his store for a video. And I haven't asked his permission for that yet, but I'm sure he'll be okay with it because Mark's the best. My first tank was a 2.5 gallon. By the next week, I had a rescue group in 125 donated to me. I would never recommend that kind of jump, but it was definitely shock therapy. You know, going from a 2.5 to a 125 is that's almost as big a jump as you can get. But I bet you find, Point Master, I bet you find that 125 easier to keep. I bet you do. So it's a big jump. I mean, maybe it's not easier to keep than a 2.5 gallon because you can literally just take a little 32 ounce cup and do like a 50% water change in a tank that size. But let's see. I think Lisa, she did. Wow, what a good picture too. Are you kidding me? Is that from my tank? You just took that? Or did you like... That is my tank. Wow. All right. So that is the red cherry Mato Grossos. I am going to, oh, shoot. Let's see. How do I do it? Well, you can't see me pointing to them, but those fish, their names are Jeff, and Jeff. That's the name, the individual names, all very individual, very specific names for all of those fish right there. And that is only 7 of them. We got 12. So there you go. Again, Jeff Grosso was the best. Can I buy a membership from the UK? You certainly can. We have quite a few members that are from the UK. The members only streams are pretty late for you, or early, depending on how you look at it. But we're also going to be, I still don't have one yet, but we're going to be doing some blooper videos for the new videos that we're doing. And those will be exclusive to channel members too, because there's going to be a lot of foul language in them. And I'm not sure that'll go over well with the public. So having a membership in the UK is not only about the members only streams. I have a cooling vest if you need it. Or I can just wait till the temperature's cooler and then I can do it. That's the strategy. We're using the excuse of the money. And that certainly does play a role, but yeah, it's hot back there. I don't even like the dog being back there right now. So why don't you sell Driftwood Sounder Wood Circ? What in the world does Sounder Wood Circ mean? I don't know what that word is. We had Driftwood on our website for a long time, and I never liked it. And the reason why, we never got complaints. So I probably shouldn't have not liked it, if that makes sense. We were selling it. We had like small, medium, large. And I think we were selling it for a daggone good price too. What I didn't like about it though is driftwood. It's such an individual thing. Like, you see a piece of driftwood and you're like, that's the one for yourself. Somebody else picking it for you, I mean, you know, it's not as cool. And I always felt like, are they going to hate this? A customer just paid us for this. Are they going to hate this piece that I'm picking out for them? I don't know. It was just always something that bothered me. We never got complaints, but the other thing that's difficult, that's something that is across the board. And what I mean by that is we have two options when it comes to buying driftwood. We can go to a guy who's in Nags Head, North Carolina, and he's a great guy. We've been to him a couple of times. We can walk in and we can hand select all the driftwood that we want. Nags Head's like an hour and 15 minutes away. And he lets us just have full reign. We've done videos there. Lisa picked out driftwood for her goldfish tank there. It's a really cool place. It is literally a warehouse that has nothing in it but driftwood, Malaysian driftwood, spiderwood, all the driftwoods. So it's a really cool place. But you're talking about an entire day of going out there hand selecting all of the stuff and then bringing it back. Or we can order it from somebody. Well, if we order our stock of driftwood from somebody, they are selecting what they think we will like, and then we get it, and we are selecting driftwood that we think you will like. You understand? Like, so many people are making decisions for the end user. I don't like that. I don't know. It just feels weird to me. I never liked it. But I'm not saying we'll never have it again. Something I do have that I can speak about here. I'd like to send out a big thank you to somebody that nobody's ever heard of before. This guy is a complete nobody. Nobody knows this guy's name. His name is Corey McElroy. I know. You're like, who the heck is that? Nobody knows this guy. He messaged me a couple of weeks ago. I think we talked about it on a live stream, and he might have seen it. And he messaged and said, gave me a recommendation of somebody to use for screen printing. And it was a really good recommendation because I've been back and forth with those guys this week and getting pricing for shirts. And the prices are very good. Now, the prices are great. So great that I would like to get one that you've never seen before done. But I don't know if I will. I'd like to get your input on this. This is artwork that I had done probably 5 years ago. And I think this has the potential to be the coolest shirt anyone has ever done in the aquarium hobby on YouTube. Can I show it to you? I'd like to show you the artwork if I could. Now, obviously that's an arowana. It's an Asian arowana, which is fine. If you don't think that's the coolest shirt, It's because you haven't seen the back yet. Do you remember? Do you remember this one? And then when you look at the back, it said this. You remember that one? We had a lot of people asking about that one. A lot of people asking if we're ever going to get that again. It's one of the shirts I was asking this gentleman from the company that Corey recommended to us. I was getting pricing on that. The key to that shirt, the key to the Oscar shirt, was that you had to see the back. Because that's where it said you can do you know what. Well, the back of this one, they get really big. You know it's coming, right? That would be the back. I don't even know if Lisa's seen this one. What do you think of that? This one is a lot of colors. He said 6 colors, and that makes sense because there's 2 grays, white, red, blue, yellow. Yeah, 6 colors. The Oscar shirt is 3. No. White. Yeah, white, red, and orange is the Oscar shirt. So it's only 3 colors, so it's a lot cheaper. This shirt, the That's What She Said shirt, would be probably somewhere in the neighborhood of $30. I know, that's a lot for a t-shirt. I get it. But it's because it's 6 colors on the front and the back. And we wouldn't get that done this big. It would be the whole front of the shirt would say they get really big. And on the back, That's What She Said. You want to know the best part of this? This design was done by a gentleman named Brian Carlisle. And he did the Oscar shirt for us too. And he did the Bubbles shirt. He did our logo. Like, he's done so much graphics for us. If I remember this correctly, I'm pretty sure I'm remembering it correctly. Brian does watch this stream from time to time, so he'll remind me if I'm wrong. I don't even think I asked for that. I think he did that. I asked him to do the Oscar shirt, and then I told him exactly what I wanted, and he did it beautifully. He created the Oscar artwork, and then I was like, yeah, that's perfect, and put that on the shirt that says, if you don't like Oscars, you can go. And I said, censor the word. Don't put the real word on there, because that's pushing it a little bit. And he did it beautifully, and I swear this one, he was just like, he knows me. He knows I say that all the time. I put that in my videos all the time. Michael Scott clips. That's What She Said, all that stuff. And I think he just did that, but I could be wrong. I might have asked him for that. But regardless, it's a beautiful thing. So, you have a V-neck. I don't think I'd be getting it done in V-neck. Everybody's asked. Oh no, it's the same person asked a couple times. Okay. I was about to say, what's everybody asking for that for? So, depending on the kind of response, I'll see if I can get that done. I wish I could send a custom made ladder for your fish house to coordinate with the coasters. It would be engraved, "This old fish house ladder." Oh, well, that's super cool of you. I mean, you could if you really wanted to, but we don't like asking for stuff because that's kind of weird. But if you wanted to do that, I'm not telling you I would send it back. Curtis is right. You can send it to the P.O. box. I mean, our P.O. box is like this big, but they would hold it there. Unless you're talking about a little dollhouse ladder, then it would fit in there. Can we pre-order? I mean, I would entertain doing that. I got to be honest. I haven't even talked to Lisa about this yet. I showed her the prices and I was like, look at this. Wow. This company was cheaper than the company local to us that Lisa won't let me use anymore because they don't like cats. And no, that's not a joke. It's a little more than that. They're mean to cats, but cheaper than that place. However, they will need to be shipped. I'm sure they're not going to ship them for free. So by the time you add shipping and all of that to it, it'd probably be about the same price. But maybe not. Maybe even still be a little bit cheaper. And that's good. We never really look at merch as being a way to break the bank and make a bunch of money. It's like, if you're going to buy something with my logo on it, I wouldn't feel right raking you over the coals for money for that. That's just kind of weird. That would be like somebody coming up to us at an event and being like, hey, can we take a selfie? And I'm like, yeah, $25. Like, that's just outrageous. If any YouTuber does that, you're just a greedy person. But I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. It's not that we don't make any money on the merch, but it's not like, we're making 90% profits and stuff like that. No, not even close. I wish I could make 90% profit on anything. Make both. And then, of course, we have to get one that says, no, don't do it. Well, now it's over. I'm not doing it. Forget it. Because that person said that, I'm not getting those shirts made. Nobody wants it. Okay, what's Jennifer's idea? The back could say something like, what do you mean they're flat? Oh, funny. I do like the idea of trying to incorporate, I'll say it to your face. Because now that would be done not only to be funny, but also in memorial to the great Donnie Baker. Which I'm still devastated by. Had no idea that happened, that he passed away. But I thought about, like, I love Oscars, and I'll say it to your face. Or, I don't know. If I just got a shirt that just said, I'll say it to your face, people are going to read that and go, what? You'll say what? You know what I'm saying? Like, there has to be some kind of a theme to it. But I don't know. The black and white beta and Oscar shirts are my favorite t-shirts in my wardrobe. Nice. Is that this one you're talking about? Because we have the other one too, which I think they're still on the site, but we only have a few of them left. The original beta logo. But this one is like, it's the best. I love it. Yes, okay. Yeah. I take responsibility for this one and the Oscar one. And if Brian Carlisle does watch this, he's probably going to be like, man, because I've used him for all of my graphics stuff. And let me tell you something. That man, you know the story I've told about Dave Warren? I told it in a video recently. He was an angelfish breeder, and he walked into our store the day we opened, and he handed me a bag of angelfish over the counter, and he said, here, have these. If you want more, give me a call. Here's my card. Most brilliant way of marketing yourself in the world. Well, that's exactly what Brian Carlisle did. He sent me a logo, asked for nothing in return. We were African cichlid breeders at the time, and I feel like, again, we're talking, this would have been late 2012, possibly early 2013. I think I had commented at some point that I thought about a yin yang logo. because, the way African cichlids, we were African cichlid breeders, the way African cichlids go round and round and around in a circle when they spawn. And he got that, or he just read my mind. I don't know. Either way. And he just created the original KG Tropicals logo, the orange and blue logo. The circle looks like a yin yang symbol. He just sent me that out of nowhere and said, here, I made this for you. If you like it, use it on whatever you want. If you need any other graphics work done, let me know. Who else would I use if I need to get graphic work done? The answer is nobody. So I love that. I mean, that is marketing 101 right there. Here's what I'm capable of. If you want more, let me know. It's a beautiful thing. So put your bobblehead on the front with a speech bubble that says, I'll say it to your face, with KG Tropicals logo on the back. Done and done. It's not a terrible idea. Yeah, I mean, I could think of something. I still need one that says, if you don't like my husband, on the front, on the back. Whoa. I was just about to say something so inappropriate. I'm not going to do it, though. A caricature of me. What was it? Like 2021. I think it was 2021. At one of the Aquashellas, Tanner Serpa came up to me and he said, here. And he threw me a shirt. And I caught it because it was thrown very well. And I assumed it was a Serpa Design shirt. And I'm like, awesome, cool. But then I opened it up and it was a caricature of Jay Wilson. And it said, holla, because that's Jay's thing. I still have that. It is in my closet, in my office. Hilarious. I don't know why Tanner had that. Like, Tanner got that made, which is hilarious. But it doesn't really look like Jay. I've got a very distinct shape and, Jay, it's the holla. That's what makes it like, oh, that's a Jay Wilson thing. If you remember from back in the day, that's how Jay always ended his videos. Holla. I don't have the balls to do something like that. So I just say bye. But yeah, I thought that was funny. When you say caricature, it just reminded me of that. How about I say beta, you say beta, and I'll say it to your face. I thought about that, but I thought about just the beta part. I say beta and I'll say it to your face. Or I don't care how you pronounce B-E-T-T-A. Thought about that. I mean, there's so many ideas. And I don't know. I mean, I don't want to get 75 different shirts made. Although it all sounds very fun. But, shirts are one of those things that you got to put out a lot to get the right price. You got to put out a lot of money. You got to order a lot of them. And it's like, are people really going to buy one if it says, I'll say it to your face? Like, I didn't think people were going to buy one that says, go F yourself on the back. But they did. We sold out of them really, really fast. And people have been asking about them ever since. So I don't know. Kickstarter. Only order small amounts to give away. Now that's not a bad idea. It could be like an exclusive run. One of the things that really is important is to get a minimum of like 100 to get the real good prices. Now, of course, the more you get, the price goes down substantially. The more you get. But to get them done for a reasonable amount really needs to be like 100. And that's just a lot. We were nervous about the Oscar one. I don't remember how many we ordered. I want to say we ordered, it was probably like 250. And of that one and the bubble shirt, and we sold out of all of them. So I don't know what I'm worried about. But we'll see. Got any bikers? Be a lot cooler if you did. You got to order like $250 of merch first to get one. Speaking of Aquashella, New Jersey, 2025, was foot traffic very busy, but it was nowhere as cool and personable without you. Oh, without you and almost all the YouTubers. Yeah. Yeah. So had a conversation with somebody the other day, and they summed it up really, really well. They said, it's another YouTuber, and they said, it's just not the same. That's it in a nutshell. And I miss those days. Would Mark be able to sell some? Yes, because Mark can sell anything. Would he want to? Not really. If it was a KG Tropical shirt, I'm sure he would have no problem with that at all. And in fact, he'd probably love that idea. But for something that's like, they get really big, that's what she said, or go F yourself, I don't think Mark would want to sell that. I'm not saying he wouldn't wear one, like when he's not working. Mark is a very, very smart businessman. And he would be like, we get a lot of kids in here, you know, I don't know. Joe's going to bed. Oh man, that means we're not getting any more donations tonight. Now I'm joking, Joe. Don't do it. Stop it. Don't. I'm just being silly. But it is Friday night. It's a shame that you're going to bed this early. I'm just saying. I got to get up at like 4:30. I really don't have to get up that early, but it's really early. Aquashella, New Jersey would have been outstanding if more content creators were there, especially you and Jason. Well, again, it's just not the same. Could you work with bunker branding? Yeah, of course, but I don't think they're going to beat the prices from this company that I've been going back and forth with. I've never looked into bunker branding, but and that's not exclusive to YouTubers, is it? I don't think it is. Which, I mean, we meet that criteria anyway, but Lisa, KG Tropicals, me too. I've still not been able to meet you in person. I tell her about meeting you all the time, Oink Master, and I'm like, she's the sweetest thing, and you didn't get to meet her. That was the one where we had first moved here, I think, and it was just too much for her to go. Maybe KG meet and greet somewhere. You know what? I mean, we kind of do that already with Mark's yearly thing that he does. We tell everybody that we're going to be there. And then, you know, some people show up and stuff like that. It's cool. I remember, was it Solid Gold? I think it was Jenny. A long time ago. I mean, it was probably, I don't even know. I don't even know when it was. Probably 2015. She did a meet and greet somewhere. There was a lot of people that showed up to that. But it was a different time then. And I don't mean that as any type of slight towards her whatsoever. What I mean is, how do you even say it? YouTubers, this is so weird to say this, but YouTubers were a bigger deal back then. Because being a YouTuber was still such a crazy, like, unfamiliar thing to so many people. Now it's not so much. And I don't mean to say that as if it's like some kind of complaint. But if you go back to like 2021, 2019, 2022, because 2020 was a miss, you know, nobody got to go to any shows then. I mean, there'd be lines of people. I will never forget it. I've told this story so many times, and Lisa already knows the story I'm about to tell because I've told it so many times. One of the proudest moments of my life. I was standing back. I think I was standing with James, Fishroom Fever, and I looked over. We were in the YouTube booth at Aquashella. It was in 2021. And there was my wife, Joey Mullen, George Mavrakis. So Lisa, KG Tropicals, King of DIY, Coralfish 12G. His channel's George Mavrakis now, but for the longest time, it was Coralfish 12G. Lisa had the longest line. There was a line probably 40 people deep to get to Lisa. And Joey and George had these little rinky-dink lines. No, they were substantial lines. But the point is, Lisa's was longer. Yes, that's a flex. My wife drew a bigger crowd than those two juggernauts. Yeah. But the point I'm making, as much as everybody loves Lisa and as much as Lisa is the best, I don't think that would happen now. I'm not saying that those guys would have longer lines than her. I'm saying I don't think there'd be really a line for anybody. I don't think that's really a thing anymore because everybody understands. And I'm not just saying us. I'm saying all YouTubers. We're not anything special. We're not these, you know, big time people that people used to think we were. I'm not saying that people don't appreciate us, and you know, we certainly appreciate them. But I'm saying back then it would have been like meeting a celebrity. Now it's just like, oh, hey, you're that guy on YouTube that does the silly things. And he says, go F yourself. And he says, I'll say it to your face. Stole it from Donnie Baker. Yeah, you're that guy. It's just not as big of a deal anymore. I hope that makes sense. Just set up a 55-gallon and cycling. Do you think a Carpintus cichlid, small and a couple of convicts would... What the heck is a Carpintus? I just sounded like a real jerk when I just said that, didn't I? I didn't mean to. Why do people ask me about fish that I don't know what they are? Is it a Cuban? Texas? Like pearl scale? What are we talking about here? No. What? Texas cichlid versus Carpintus cichlid. They look just like Texas. It's a good looking fish. What was the question again? A couple of convicts. Does it have a common name? Pearl scale. Okay. No, that's not the same one. Or is it? Oh, who cares? So what? If it's comparable to a Texas cichlid, I mean, the responsible person is supposed to tell you, I don't know that I'd put one of those in a 55. But you can get away with it. But I'm just saying, like, you know, maybe we'd want it to be a little bigger. You know, all of us men, we just want it to be a little bigger, don't we? But I can definitely see the appeal. And convicts, perfectly fine in a 55. They don't get absolutely massive. But you have to understand, and I'm going to say this as delicately as possible. When you buy convict cichlids, you are signing a contract with the devil. How else do you want me to say it? They're beautiful. They're awesome. They're really cool. But a lot of people struggle with them because they're mean and because they breed like crazy. I'm one of those people. I had that experience. I loved them. I loved having convicts. Not when they had babies, though. Not when you have a pair, they breed, you spend months trying to find somebody to take all of that fry. You find somebody to take that fry. They take the fry, doing you a huge favor, and then they spawn again. That's a problem. So smaller, 8 to 12 inches. Okay, well then I feel a little better about that. So they're like comparable to like a Jack Dempsey then, right? Probably. I don't think, I mean, listen, every single fish that's ever been in the aquarium hobby should be in a bigger tank. We all know that. So the right thing to do would be to say, you know, maybe you ought to put that in something a little bigger. But if it's only 8 to 12, I wouldn't be mad at you. But I don't think you should go with the convicts. Just because they can become such a problem. They're beautiful. And I understand the appeal. But, you know, maybe, I don't know, maybe some Geos. Maybe a Jack Dempsey. They get fairly tall. I had a large male, kind of similar to a jag in behavior. Oh, well then that fish would take care of those convict fry real quick. Maybe that's the strategy. Maybe it's like, that's why I want that one. So it can maintain population control. But those convicts, they're going to protect those fry. So, and that's, you know, when you get angelfish, you run that risk that you're going to have a couple pair up and then they're just going to wreak havoc. Convicts, same thing. But when you have angels and they spawn successfully in a stocked tank with other fish in there, you might get 24 fry out of there. That's good. But a convict, we're talking hundreds. It can be a problem. That's all I'm saying. Cool fish, but they can be a problem. Carpintus, though, that's a cool fish. I don't know. I've probably seen that fish a million times. I just never knew it was that name. Maybe that's why I was confused. Mountain lioness. I didn't say motionless. With the $1.99, no, nothing attached to it. Just here, money. Here's money. To have money. How's this for an idea? Oh, I should read this first because this is not a subscriber. Okay. A show and tell style live stream, something where viewers could share their setups, maybe get advice or pointers from experts like yourselves, or just share our experience. You know, wow, is that an amazing idea? That's just the best idea I've ever heard in my life. Which is why we've been doing that for the last several months with our member streams. That's exactly what we do. Now, sometimes we get members on there that are regulars and we've already seen their tanks, and so we don't do it. But most of the time when we have a new member, not a new channel member, but a new person on the stream that hasn't been on yet, we say, hey, show us your tanks. And that's that. Unless you're Dennis McKelvey, we never ask him. And I don't know why. He's the only one, and it's not his fault. It's our fault because I don't know why we haven't seen Dennis's tanks. But whatever your name is, I do think that's a cool idea. That's why we're already doing it. We have done it on public streams too. There's nothing we haven't tried in member streams or in live streams. And look, a 500,000 subscriber channel on a Friday night. Ain't nobody got work tomorrow. 150 people watching right now. We used to have like 700 on a Thursday. So obviously people aren't interested in what we have done in the past. The 150, 146 now, everybody's mad at me now. I value everybody that's on here. It's awesome. We love that, but that's a hard pill to swallow. I don't care who you are. You're used to 650, 700 on a light night. And now, starts to make you wonder, good grief, what are we doing wrong? You know who's not doing something wrong? The Nationals. Why? Because they just tied the score. 8-8, bottom of the 8th. Ain't that something? The other 554 just aren't as cool. No, I mean, listen, I did a video about this 2 Sundays ago. There is just not as much interest, and a lot of it's our fault. A lot of people are tuning in right now. Oh, it's just John. Lisa's not there. I'm not interested. Whatever it is, the interest level is just not the same as it was. And that's across the board. You look at anybody's in the fish community, their live streams. One of the reasons is because there is this weird thing that everybody who starts a YouTube channel thinks they have to stream. And so there's 8,000 live streams every day. There's not an hour of any day where you can't find a stream just like this one about aquariums. And so, when I started streaming in 2015. I think it was me, Bob, and Corey. I don't know if anybody else was streaming. And all independently, you know what I mean? I've been around long enough to remember messaging YouTubers and being like, hey, you should come on my live stream. And they would be like, how do I do that? I mean, there's a lot of things that I don't deserve credit for. But there's one thing that nobody can ever take away from me. I was one of the first. I said one of. I didn't say the first. I can pretty confidently say the first aquarium live streamer was Jacob's Aquarium. And I don't think there's anybody that could argue with me on that. Jacob's Aquarium was live streaming before anybody knew what live streaming was. And I was a guest on that. And that was a really cool thing. I'm using the word literally. They just took the lead 9-8. I'm using the word literally the right way. I sat in a closet in our fish store to be on the live stream with Jacob. That was hilarious. It was a little teeny like storage closet in the back of the store. And I had to do that because we were open. And I wasn't going to be sitting there talking to Jacob's aquarium. Hey, Jacob. And then people walk in. Like, that would have just been weird. So I hid in the closet. But 2016, 15, 16, there would be 350 people watching. And now here we are, 2025, 163. I'm not trying to cry the blues. I'm just saying there is not as widespread of an interest as there was because everybody has so many options of all the different things that they can watch from all the different streaming services and freaking Peacemaker 2 is out and Wednesday's out. And you know what I'm saying? Like there's so much that it's not, there's just not as much interest. I remember when you came out of the closet, stop it. That's so mean. You're married to me, you weirdo. I don't stream on my upload channel. 6 subs and the videos are random. Okay. Well, I'll say it again. Nobody wants to believe me. I see some names in the chat that are YouTubers. Like, there's a difference between somebody who has a YouTube account and a YouTuber. When I describe somebody as a YouTuber, I'm saying somebody that is actively trying to grow a following on YouTube. That's a YouTuber. Somebody who's uploaded a video that one time, that doesn't make them a YouTuber. You understand what I'm saying? If you are a YouTuber and you are trying to grow a following on YouTube about aquariums, live streaming is not the way to do it. You don't believe me. You're going to say I'm wrong, but believe me, I'm right. You're wasting your time. It's not that live streaming is bad. It's just that it is not going to grow your channel. Make videos. The time that you would spend live streaming, preparing for the live stream, doing the live stream, all of that, stop wasting that time. Make videos. Make good, solid videos with good information in it. That's going to grow your channel 1,000 times faster than doing live streams. Go ahead. Don't believe me. One day you'll see that I'm right. Just wanted to say I miss you both and love you both. Lefty, we got to get you back on another member stream so that you can teach me how to use the software. Totally using you, Lefty. Totally losing you. Totally using you. I wonder if the thirst for knowledge is dampened by the availability of AI. You know, I mean, that might have something to do with it a little bit. But I just think that, again, when you go back, it's hard because in the early days of live streaming, when people were still trying to figure out that you could live stream on YouTube, it was a new thing and it was exciting and it was cool and the hobby was very popular and everything was new and fresh and cool. People would click on it and they'd be like, what's this? Well, everybody knows what it is now. And so they know, you know, it's just going to be me sitting here talking about some nonsense, or me and Lisa sitting here, or Bob and Chelsea sitting there, or Corey, or Jason and Joanna, you name it. And they're just like, oh, that's kind of boring. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to be a jerk. I'm in that same category. I'm not calling everybody else boring and I'm the best. No, why did I title this stream just another boring fish live stream? That's why I titled it the way I did, because it's true. I love doing it, but it's, you know, it's tough when things used to be the way they were. I'm going for I am going for a YouTuber, just finding my niche. Do you pronounce it niche or niche? Niche. My entire life I've said niche, but for some reason when I read that, it made me say niche. I think one of the things that AI is doing, Jason and I did a whole podcast episode about this, Tank Talk podcast, best podcast on earth. I think what AI is doing is saturating the market even more than it already is. People call me one of the OGs. No, I mean, there was a lot of people that were on here before me, but it's true. I was an early adopter of making content on YouTube. As far as active people on YouTube right now that are still creating content, Joey and Dustin definitely were way before me. In fact, I was watching Joey's videos before I even had a channel, and Dustin's. Dustin's channel was bigger than Joey's at the time. But, you know, when I started my channel, like everybody knew everybody as far as YouTubers go, because there just wasn't that many. There was like 25 on the whole planet. And now there's 25,000 probably. I mean, it's crazy because it's become so easy, and making content's not easy, but it's been so easy. It's become easy to make a video, put it up on the internet, share your hobby. Everybody wants to do that. It's a part of it. You know, I'll give you a great example. Taking it back to skateboarding for me. I was a skateboarder when I was a teenager. Loved it. Still love it. Still follow it to this day. X Games is like the Super Bowl for me. Like, I look forward to it for months before it comes out. When I was skating, we didn't film each other. We didn't make videos of ourselves because the cameras were like this. Like, okay, go. I mean, it was ridiculous. You had a VHS tape in there. You're like, okay, it was horrible. And now everybody's carrying phones in their pockets. But now skateboarders, all they do is film each other and put up clips on Instagram, and everybody's doing it. My first ollie, my first kickflip, and that's cool and that's awesome. But that's kind of along the same lines. It's like when I started on YouTube, nobody knew what they were doing. But now it's just like I can put up anything I want all the time. I started in this hobby. This hobby's great. It's awesome. I want to contribute. I want to take it to the next level. I'm going to upload videos on YouTube, and it's super easy to do that. And so there's just so much out there now, where it used to be, you go to YouTube, you type in aquarium, the search results would be me, Joey, Dustin, LA Fish Guy, Mark Callahan on the saltwater side, George Mavrakis. I mean, and I'm talking when I first started. Now you type in aquariums and good Lord, I mean, you don't see me until you've scrolled down for half an hour. You probably run into a couple of Corey's way before you run into mine, but you understand what I'm saying. There's just so much out there now that people, you have to stand out. And that's what Lisa and I are trying to do starting this Sunday. Hey, John, did you know Tony Hawk's skateboard, when he did the 900, just sold for what? 1.125 million. Are you kidding me? That is bananas. What I would do. I mean, can you imagine owning that though? Good Lord. I'm so upset about this. I had the first print of the Tony Hawk board. Well, no, his first Pal Peralta board. The red oval with just the hawk head in the middle. Like from the very first print of it, it was given to me by a gentleman by the name of Jim Sprague. He was my brother, one of my brother's best friends. He was a skater and he quit and he just gave that to me. And I was a Tony Hawk fan, but I was just like, so what? You know, like this is cool. But he was telling me, keep this because it's going to be valuable someday. I'm not interested in it anymore. Keep this. It was brand new, never used, never had trucks on it. No grip tape, nothing. And I have no idea where that thing is now. I do not know. And it makes me so mad. It's not like it would be worth 1.125 million right now, but I bet you it'd be worth $1,000 right now because it was never used, not a scratch on it, brand new. And it was the original Tony Hawk board. I wish I still had that. I count the new Superman movie in my top 5 DC movies now. You damn right you do. You know damn right. My favorite Jerky Boys bit. Love Corey and Jason too, but you guys are great. Well, thank you. So true, John. My husband was the number 2 national junior jumper and was a rider for thoroughbred racehorses. He has no footage of his experience, only stills. Nobody had a phone with a camera then. Yeah, I have some photos of me skateboarding back in the day. But very few. And I've got some video. There are videos on YouTube of me skateboarding in my backyard right now. You're just going to really struggle to know which one of them is me. It's spelled like this. Minnieville. Minnieville. That's the road I lived on when I was growing up. So if you type in that and then just followed up by the name Ramp, Minnieville Ramp, that's my backyard. Randy H9, I think is the channel name. Very, very, very good friend of mine back in the day. Randy Hollinsworth is his name. One of my favorite people on the planet back then. Somebody that I skated with every single day. And I don't mean to be speaking of him as if he's passed away. I just haven't talked to him in like 40 years, but not 40 years, but it's been 30 at least. He put up a bunch of videos and I'm in quite a few of them from my backyard, but it ain't like you're going to be seeing anything special. I wasn't doing nothing special, but I'm in there. I have a Matt Hoffman bike, was number 2 of a few hundred made. That is awesome. Who doesn't love Matt Hoffman? Are you kidding me? Get out of here. Matt Hoffman's the best. Matt Hoffman and Brian Blyther were my 2 favorite BMX guys back then. And I actually hung out with Brian Blyther for an entire day one time. And I was like in awe because I think he was like ranked number 1 in the world at the time. I live right near Minnieville. Do you really? The house I grew up in, Nick, is, it's actually on Courage Drive now. But Courage Drive, oh man, the Nats just lost the lead again. Courage Drive used to be Minnieville Road. When I lived there, it was Minnieville Road. And then they redid it and all of that. So, but yeah, those were the days. My dad built me a 10-foot vert ramp in my backyard, which was too big for me. I couldn't handle it. I was too scared. And then he cut it down to 8 feet. And that's what you see in the videos on YouTube was when it was cut down to 8 feet. I live near Occoquan. Okay. Yeah, we're on the other side of Woodbridge, closer to Manassas. My parents' house when I was growing up, if you look at a map, on Minnieville Road between Spriggs and 234, right in the middle is the house I grew up in. There's a lot of houses there, but I'm saying that's where it was when I was growing up. I'm too much of a klutz to skateboard. I mean, I'm not telling you I was very good at it. I'm just saying I did it. It was my life for many, many years. And I remember those days very vividly because it was the best. If I tried to get on a skateboard right now, I would not last 30 seconds because my knees are wrecked because of skateboarding. My knees are a disaster. Another cool thing to look up if you're interested in skateboarding is Cedar Crest Country Club. That's where I skated with Bucky Lassick several times and Brian Kentucky Boyd. And who else did I run into there? There's a guy that I can't remember his name to save my life. But that's where I went with Blyther. We went to a demo. We were just attending this demo. And it was Brian Pennington, Bill Danforth were the skaters. And then Brian Blyther was the BMX guy. And for some reason, Brian Blyther walked up to us and started talking to us. And I had a broken arm at the time. And it was just the coolest thing in the world. I was like, oh my God, I'm sitting here talking to Brian Blyther. Are you kidding me? And we told him about Cedar Crest because we were like 30 minutes from there. And he was like, well, do you want to go? And we were like, sure, Brian Blyther, no problem. We'll go there. And so we drove to Cedar Crest, and Brian Pennington, Bill Danforth, and Brian Blyther followed us to Cedar Crest. And then I got to watch Brian Blyther, all three of those guys, skate Cedar Crest. It was one of the highlights of my life. Kickflip over a 40 breeder. I don't know that I would have ever accomplished that. Near Hilton High School, yes. Probably 3 miles from Hilton. Hilton High School opened my senior year of high school. And where I lived, I would have gone to Hilton. I was going to Garfield, but I had the option to switch over to Hilton for my senior year. And I was like, no, I'm not going to switch for my senior year. So I drove past Hilton and went to Garfield every day for my senior year. But yeah, that would have been 92. The 91-92 school year was the year that Hilton opened up. I could have gone, but there's a guy in my neighborhood that rides a motorized longboard. He goes so fast, it actually looks dangerous, but he wears a helmet. Yeah, those dudes are crazy. I was never into that. Never into that in my life. Because it's just so scary. Garfield has changed. Oh, I'm sure it has. Speaking of longboards and going super fast, this is so terrible. I'm not even going to say it. I went to Baldwin Elementary way back in the day. John was probably graduated by then. How dare you? Come on. Don't make me tell everybody how old you are. Everyone forgive me. John said Manassas, and I lived in D.C. a while. One time, as I was literally passing by Dumfries near Manassas, a DJ told a joke by asking, what do you get when you cross Dumfries? What? I went to middle school in Dumfries, and I went to elementary school for 2 years. I went to Patty Elementary School in Dumfries. I went to Grand Park Middle School, which is in Dumfries, right outside of Quantico, Virginia. And my house that I grew up in, when you cross Dumfries with Manassas. That's funny. That's very funny. My dad is buried in Manassas. Anyway, the house I grew up in is right on the border of Woodbridge and Manassas, but it was a Woodbridge address. Did someone say Jerky Boys? Saul Rosenberg, the name. Well, would you look at that? One of my favorite characters ever. He hurt me with his words. Love me some Saul Rosenberg. But she kicked my dog. You know damn right. That's my favorite Jerky Boys ever. If you haven't heard that, if you want to be offended, if you're into foul language and just like, naughty humor, just type in, she kicked my dog. Nobody kicks a dog. Don't be afraid. But just type in that and listen to that. It is piss your pants funny. I promise. You just made my husband choke laughing. Jerky Boys does that to people. I believe it was Howard Stern, before he lost his mind, had a thing that he would play. He hurt me with his words. I feel like that was Howard, but it might have been, I don't know. Prank call. Yeah, it's a prank call. She kicked my dog. There's no kicking of dogs. It's just talking about it, and it's funny. It's the funniest thing ever. Jerky Boys used to be something, weren't they? I mean, oh man. See, Jason just brought it up. Baba Booey. I'm not going to lie to you. I haven't listened to Howard Stern in a very, very long time. Basically, since he switched to Sirius. So it's been a long time. But I would listen to him every single morning before he went to Sirius. And I would just be sitting there waiting to hear Baba Booey. That's the best. I would laugh my butt off right now if I heard that. It's so funny. And I'm old enough to remember when he was trying to say Baba Louie and he said Baba Booey, and that's where the whole thing started. I'm old enough to remember that. But it's still, it kills me to this day. Baba Booey, Baba Booey. It's just, I love it so much. He had some insane bits and concepts on his show. Yes, he did. Those were the days. Howard's an OG. I don't care what anyone says. No, that's so true. He's a madman now. He's terrible now. He's old and he's way past his prime. I think that Howard was good when he still had fight in him. When the government was after him and he was trying to get censored and he kept getting fined and that made him push harder. That's when Howard was at his absolute prime. And now he's garbage. And he has been for a long, long time. And it's very sad. My other favorite radio show was a nationally syndicated show, was the Don and Mike show. Loved those guys. And I would drive past Mike O'Mara's house every day. He lived in Manassas. He probably still does. I don't know. And I just used to think that was so cool. Like I'd be driving by and I'm like, oh, there's Mike O'Mara's house. And I know I saw him outside of his house a few times when I was driving by. But Don's wife passed away, and that it was never the same after that, which is completely understandable. I mean, I remember that like it was yesterday when that happened. And I felt horrible. Like I was devastated by that. 'Cause she would call into the show almost every day. Like she was a part of the show, and then, she died, and it was like, whoa, wow. Frida was her name. I don't know if anybody knows who I'm talking about, but, the Don and Mike show was a very, very popular show. And it was not just in my town. It was everywhere. In my opinion, Howard Stern is coasting along on his previous career. No, that's 100% true. he was the king of all media. I mean, he really was for a long time. And then he got that money and then he lost it. But no matter what, I still pee my pants when I hear Baba Booey. It's the funniest ever. I love that so much. The Grease Man replaced Howard Stern when he left DC 101. Yeah, I mean, Grease Man, oh my God, that is so long ago. Howard switched from DC 101 to 106.7. And that was when he was in his absolute prime. Even after the DC 101 days. But maybe the DC 101 days. I don't know. I started listening to Howard Stern in probably like 1987. And that's when he was absolutely crazy. Boston, Opie and Anthony. Oh, Lisa's telling me it's 9:41. Opie and Anthony they were very good. Particularly when Jim Norton was with them. Opie and Anthony in their prime, Stern in his prime, there's no comparison. It's not even close. It's fine to roast politicians as a comedian, but it's getting so one-sided, it's no longer funny. I mean, Howard Stern was in his prime when he didn't talk about politics. I mean, he was on the edge with his jokes and he was saying crazy things and he did things that nobody else was doing. And that's what set him apart. But when you go political, I don't care who you are or what side you're on. When you go full political, you're lost. It's over. Problem is our politicians give comedians so much easy material. That's so true. There's so many comedians that like, what's the one's name that I like? Oh man. Lewis Black. He is a political comedian. Dennis Miller was a political comedian. That's good. I like that. That's funny. But I prefer comedians that are not political. Just tell jokes. It doesn't have to be political. I guess Lisa wants me to get off of here. Our angel, I can't because somebody's asking a fish question now, Lisa Marie. Are angelfish particularly prone to stress-related diseases? Having a hard time keeping new angels alive and my other fish are doing great. No. They're not any more prone to stress-related diseases than really any other fish. Angels, typically, in the right environment, are very easy to keep. If the temperature's right, I wouldn't get so caught up. I know people are going to want to argue with me on this. But I wouldn't get so caught up in adjusting your pH and your KH and your GH. And your tap water's most likely perfectly fine. Keeping them well fed. And put it to you this way. Lisa has 5 angels in her 125 over there. I would show you, but this big bar is in the way and you can't even see it. It's a beautiful, very heavily planted tank. Not an inch of this tank doesn't have plants in it. It's very well planted. Looks beautiful. 5 very robust, very large angels. Along with about a lot. What is it, Lisa? There's probably 40 very high energy schooling community fish that are all over the place. all over. They're back and forth and up and down and craziness, mayhem, chaos. And the angels are perfectly fine. They don't care. They're just like, whatever. Because the water's clean. The temperature's right. I don't know exactly what the temperature is in that tank's probably 78, 79. Heavily planted. It's a nice environment for them. They're happy. And they were not huge when she bought them. But they weren't little either. Like they weren't teeny tiny. I've always told people, if you're struggling with angels, buy them a little bigger. You know, you can buy angels dime size, nickel size, quarter size, 50 cent. They don't cost 50 cents, but the size of a 50 cent piece, maybe 50. I'm adding 12 more. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of fish, but it doesn't look like too much, but it's a lot. And there's 5 angels. Yeah. It's very appealing to go to your local pet store and find little adorable dime size angels. And they're like $5 a piece. And you're like, oh, that's a great idea. If that's what you're doing, I'm not criticizing you if that's what you're doing, because they're adorable. I don't blame you. But if that's what you're doing and you're struggling with them, when you go back, get some that are a lot bigger than that. And I bet you don't have as much of a struggle, because angels, in my experience, are very hardy fish. In fact, one of my favorites. I don't think I've ever said this before, but I'm going to say it and then I'm going to get out of here, because I do have to get up at the butt crack of dawn tomorrow. If we all of a sudden lost everything and had to move, and we could only set up one of the tanks that we have, it would be that one. That would be the one that I would vote. I can't look at that. I can show it to you. That would be the one right there. Not the one in the bottom that's empty. The one on the top with the angels in it. I can't adjust the height of the camera. That would be the tank that I would say, okay, well, that's the one we're taking with us. Now, don't misunderstand me. I love my Oscars. I love my bikers. I love all of that. But that tank is just the best. I love it. I love all the activity in it. I love the big angels in it. And they just kind of sit there and chill. There's a couple of freak fish that, like big gnarly bristle nose and stuff like that, that are in there. It's just the coolest. It's the best. I love it. And that would be the one I would say, okay, that's the one we're going to take. Yes, I would say that over this. But that's only if we can only have one, and that's just what the circumstances are. I didn't even realize this bar was still in here. Sorry about that. That's the only way I would get rid of this one. And now Lisa's definitely attached to this one. Yes, there are plants in an Oscar tank. For now. But listen, y'all. Baba Booey. I am going to have to get off of here, because I got to go walk my dog before bedtime and put her to bed and put the cats to bed that are out there with her. And then I got to put myself to bed too. Because we got a long day tomorrow, but it's going to be a lot of fun. Lisa's lucky because she just gets to ride all day and scroll through her phone while I'm driving, but it's okay because I love to drive. So, I do apologize about the member stream tonight. I know it sucks, but we will do the member stream next week. So if you were looking forward to that tonight, sorry about that. Hopefully everybody understands why that is the way it is. But we will be back with the member stream next week. So there we are. This has been a lot of fun, folks. I appreciate it. Thank you to the mods that have helped out a lot, including that beautiful wife of mine who said some very mean things and hurt my feelings earlier, but that's okay. Thank you to all of the mods that helped out, because this chat can get rowdy and, you know, people got to keep them in line. So thank you all for the help with that. And of course, I'm kidding. Our chat's the best. That's all. I'm just going to keep talking if I don't just say goodbye. Wait till Sunday. Sunday's video is coming out. It is going to be a doozy. It's going to ruffle some feathers. Most of the people that watch it are going to get a kick out of it and laugh. It is a completely far-fetched, crazy, silly, funny video, and I'm very proud of how it turned out. So be on the lookout for that Sunday morning. It's already scheduled. I think 9 a.m. it goes up, maybe 10, not sure. Really looking forward to hearing people's reaction to that. It'll be a good one. So anyway, that's it for now. Thank you all so much. We'll see you next week live, but see you Sunday for the video. Bye.